All right, harmonic patterns. This money journey. Something I kind of just stumbled across. I normally trade with trend lines, breaking the trend lines, and things like that. For example, last night I was trading Bitcoin, and I just kind of saw this spot that looked like we were going towards. It looked like I was going down there. I went ahead and drew some trend lines just to kind of track it a little better. And so then I set my rules, of course. I break my trend lines, and then I'm going to close the trade or, be in, uh, be in for a long run and go further. Now, what happened? We ended up breaking the upper trend line. We broke the upper trend line, and then I was saying once we hit this area, pierce this resistance line, then we're going to get ready to go for a short reversal. We broke the upper one, then of course we would have been going for a much higher long. And what happened? Pretty much, we broke the first one. We started getting a reversal signal. The reversal signal meant we had to go down lower. I exited the trade right here. In hindsight, I probably should have stayed in a little longer. I knew we'd probably go a little further, but I was getting tired and I went to sleep. And why does humans need to sleep? Anywho, I woke up this morning and it would have been really good. We broke all these support lines and we went very far. Boom. Still made good money, but now there's some other ways to trade, basically Elliott waves. And Elliott waves then led me to research into something called harmonic patterns. Just went from YouTube video to YouTube video, and I just kind of stumbled across this. And it's a interesting concept. How well it works, I don't know. It was an interesting concept. It's by a guy named Scott Carney. These. He invented this concept of harmonic patterns. And there's a software that he partnered with somebody to make a harmonic scanner. They have their scanner works in things like eSignal and MetaTrader 4 and NinjaTrader and so on. Interesting stuff. The very basics of all harmonic patterns is the ABCD pattern. And the signals I'm going to review in here is the Brit dollar, the odd Canadian, the Euro Jippy, the odd franc, the odd Jippy, the odd dollar, the Euro dollar, the US Jippy, the US CAD, the Brit Jippy, and the EURAUD. Now, I'm not trying to train anybody on what the ABCD pattern is. There's a link down below to the Harmonic Traders channel where he explains ABCD pattern basics. And he says in that video it's the basis of pretty much all their patterns. So if you're going to get into harmonic patterns, by the very least, you should learn the ABCD pattern. Now, when you install the harmonic scanner and the indicator, you're going to get a lot of noise. There's a lot of signals that's by default enabled, and they may or may not prove right. And it's just very noisy and hard to tell how effective they are. For example, we're going to go to the Brit dollar. Look at all this crazy stuff. And I just kept going through here. You know, some stuff looked successful. A lot of stuff looked unsuccessful. So I was thinking, by the very least, I need to strip this down to the bare minimum and figure out signal by signal of what patterns that he, says is all in his system and see which ones are the most effective. And because the ABCD pattern says is the basis of most of their patterns, I figured that is the best one to start with. Now, When you go to the indicators list with the harmonic pattern enabled, once you figure out which one's most successful, I would say turn off the ones that you don't care to see, because there's a lot of noise and patterns inside patterns, and it can get very noisy and hard to tell what you want to trade. In this case, I'm just reviewing quite a few symbols out there for the ABCD pattern. Now the Brit dollar, there was one spot in there, and it was a loser. As you see, it would have told you to enter the trade right here. Go down, you hit the stop. Still, the stop loss is not that high in comparison to the take profit. So, is it a worthwhile trade? Maybe. Risk reward ratio is not that bad. Then we have the odd Canadian. That odd Canadian, you will get a T1 winner. As you see, this stop loss is over here. And let's say you enter the trade at this point. Now it's going to go on over here. You're going to get your take profit at about this zone. Worthwhile. Again, the stop loss to the take profit are acceptable. The risk reward is not that bad. I would take that trade. Then you got the EURAUD Jippy. The EURAUD Jippy, we got a loser. Just ain't working out. The stop loss will hit almost immediately. I'm not really sure how this ABCD right here is the spot you want to go with. Bottom line is you would lose. Then we got that odd franc. That odd franc, we got a winner. That stop loss is down here. It's almost right below that wick. But you eventually will get that take profit one winner. You got the odd Jippy. Got another T2 winner. This one looks nice. And I don't think I mentioned in the beginning of this video, but basically, pretty much the entire harmonic pattern is based upon. It's like taking Elliott waves with exact measurements to help identify exactly where is a good trade to enter. So let's say you enter the trade here. You're going to get this T1. Wow, this one even hits the T2. Only thing is, like I said, I'm not a harmonic certified trader, as he likes to say. If you get into his course, he'll teach people the more in-depth stuff. Some people swear by it. Other people say that it's subjective. In all honesty, all trading is subjective. So, it's what you're going to make out of it. I would not call this your sole trading strategy, but it might be worthwhile learning just to put it in your toolbox. Then we get the odd dollar. The odd dollar, the stop loss is up here, right above this little candle wick. So, it's not going to hit it. Now, this is all based upon past results. You might be dealing with one of those market makers who's going to, hunt your stop, and it's going to hit you. So, now let's say everything does work out fine. You're going to come down here and you're going to hit this T1 winner, and that risk to reward is acceptable. It's a nice profit. Put it in there and enjoy it. Then we got that euro dollar. Euro dollar again. Look at that stop way up there. You enter this trade here, ABCD, you short it, and you're going to hit that T1. Could hit that T2. And like I said, I hope that his training course for how much it cost lets you know when you want to take a T1 or a T2. Now you got that dollar Jippy. Dollar Jippy. He's saying you should enter that trade at about 1.130. And you're going to short it. You're going to short it. You're going to go all the way down. You can get this T1. If you want to hang in for a roller coaster, woo, 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 you're going to hit that T2. So that US dollar or that US Jippy, the 1 hour chart, that's a good one too. T1, T2, it's both there. Again, I'd probably take the T1 because I am not a professional trader, and that risk to reward of that stop is still acceptable. You got the US Canadian. You see, he's saying you should enter a long position right here. You're going to enter that long position right here. And depends if it's signaling you to do it at D or it's signaling it to you down here. If you're going to enter right here, you are going to lose. You're going to hit that stop. If you catch it at the end of this wick, just because you haven't been that lucky, it looks like you're going to hit T2. But I would ultimately call this a loser because most people will probably see this right here. They're going to enter that long right on this spot. It's going to drop down. It's going to shorten this hour mark. It's going to hit the stop, and they're going to be out. So that US CAD I will mark as a loser. All right, you got that Brit Jippy. That Brit Jippy is a loser. As you see, it's going to tell you to put a long in here. You will never hit it. You're going to go down. If you don't hit the stop here, you'll definitely hit the stop here. But then again, like I said, that risk to reward is not bad. The EURAUD, another loser. You're going to enter that short position here. You're going to hit your stop around this point. All right, of all the symbols I reviewed the Brit dollar, was a loser. That odd Canadian, we wanted the T1. The Euro Jippy, loser. Odd Franc, winner for a T1. Odd Jippy, we wanted the T2. That odd dollar, T1. The Euro USD and the US Jippy, we wanted the T2. The other ones, we hit stop losses and a loser. So our ratio of win to lose, we were at about a 60-40. But the average pip count that you were getting of the winners, 150, 200 pips. And the average pip count of a loser, let's look at a pip count of a loser. I'm going to pull up Euro Jippy. And this is one thing I like about the pattern scanner. There is a chart link. So there's a pattern scanner where you just put a bunch of symbols in there, and it scans and it finds it. So the Euro Jippy, we lost at that one. So let's go look at this guy, Euro Jippy. Double click, boom. It's going to flip your chart to what you want. Go ahead and minimize that. Oh wow. Did I add a new one on here? Because this is one hell of a winner. This might be the deep crab, honestly. Oh, that's the 5-0. We're going to have to review that one in the future. That's a nice looking profit mark, but I have not reviewed it across all of the charts. Now let's find the ABCD on this Euro Jippy. So you see that move. The move up, you got about 0.25717. A stop loss down, 0.073832. So, see that loss compared to the gain is substantially different. So it's not that bad. Other charts, I think the euro dollar and other ones, I was seeing I think it was about a 250 point gain, about a 70 to 50 point loss if you were going to be busted out. Now, like I said, the one thing to keep in mind is this is not something to trade alone. And Harmonic Trader, Scott behind this, he says don't trade solely on the ABCD. there is more variables you want to take into account. So take it all in, get some education. I wouldn't trade on this alone. I have not reviewed the rest of the patterns as part of the harmonic trading signal and the pattern scanner. I'm going to take a look at it. But based upon this, you got about a 60-40, and the loss to win ratio is pretty acceptable. So, next one, we're going to review another pattern. Leave a comment below, like the channel, subscribe, and keep it easy, guys. We're going to make some money.